from that day onwards. And he strikes me, I think of him as a kind of a rock star artist. Which brings me to this exhibition here, which I'm really fascinated by, and I'm really delighted to be opening it today. And I remember, I'm old enough to just about remember 1966, which was the 50th anniversary of the Rising. I was a primary school child, and I remember we had our copy of the proclamation in the classroom. Is there anybody else of my generation who remembers that, that proclamation? And there were, presumably there was every school. And with this proclamation, at the bottom of it, as I recall, there were the photographs of the images of the 7 signatories. And it seemed to me, thinking about this, that our understanding, our visual, if you like, interaction with the Rising is very much through the faces of the people that we see around us here. There's not actually a lot of other visual evidence left. I'm reminded of the lines from the opening lines from Easter 1916. I have seen them at close of day, coming with vivid faces from counter and desk in grey. And we see it around us here, depicted by Rod, the vivid faces. And they look on us, and we look back at them. And because Rod has reworked these familiar images, Pierce, always in profile, I think because he had a turn in his eye, which he perhaps was embarrassed by. Thomas Clark had been straight out. It's almost like a mugshot, that famous image of Thomas Clark, an absolutely dedicated revolutionary. Plunkett, with his wound on his neck, somebody who has suffered ill health all through his life. I'm looking around Countess Margaret's with all the theatrical feather in her cap. James Connolly, absolutely dedicated revolutionary socialist. The O'Reilly, whose grandson, she is here, the O'Reilly with that military bearing. I asked what she is, was he a military man? No, he wasn't. He had no background, and yet he was able to. And then over here, Tomas McDonagh, this matinee good looks, the extraordinary image of this. Grew up in terrible poverty in North County Leitrim. All very, very different individuals. Is this Kathleen Lynn over here, Rob?
Yeah, Kathleen Clark.
Kathleen Clark, among the women who quite properly got more and more prominence and profile. So all very different individuals, but motivated by a common desire at that particular moment. And I think Rod, if you like, stitches them together with the technique, the similar use of the same, is it burnt sienna? You said to me, is the sienna, that rusted brown colour, the blues. So they're a unified group, and yet if we look at each of them, reworked, reinterpreted by Rod, I think all of us recognise that each of these individuals was deeply sincere in what they set out to do, were willing to make the ultimate sacrifice to achieve something that they believe was important for them, not just for themselves, but for their community and for their country. And I think it's very important that we honour their memory very much with that in mind. And I think this is something, this exhibition, which does that tremendously well. And I congratulate Rod and everybody here at the Courthouse for managing this exhibition. Thank you.